Welcome to Daddy Daughter Discussions. I'm Kevin,
I'm Cam.
and we're a Daddy Daughter team. And what we do is we discuss everything to do with current events and how Cameron navigates through them.
So sit down and relax.
So, Cam, how are you getting on anyway?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, Dad, do you ever think like when you were younger, like everything seemed, like you could understand things way better? It's like when I was little, I thought Santa lived on the moon.
Yeah. Why the moon?
I don't know why. I think it's because I saw something flying in at night in a TV show, and I thought he was in space going to Paris. I'm like, how are they going up there without oxygen?
Well, that's an interesting idea. Most people would say simplistically like the North Pole or something like that. You were like the moon.
That's why people visited them in
Yeah.
the
That's an interesting idea. I mean, like, how can a kids kind of understand the world at their age, and how they think things work? That is quite fascinating. And it's the older you get, the more kind of things, the more you obviously knowledge you gain, the more kind of that kind of imagination element goes on.
away.
Yeah.
When I was younger, when I'm pretty sure I remember this one time, and it's still stuck in my head.
Uh-huh.
It was like 0 and 0, and I was looking, and I was like, I looked in my head and I imagined an explosion with the number 7.
Yeah.
0 and 0 equals 7.
Okay. It's quite the imagination you've got there.
It doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't.
See, for me as an adult, the mental gymnastics to try and figure out how you came up with 7 with 2 zeros smashing together. I don't know. Crazy. See, when you kind of hear some of the, there was loads of TV shows that were on the TV, obviously.
No, they were just in my house.
And they would be like kind of things. Oh, the things kids say on on television. So they would ask the kids to say something, and the kids would say something like really embarrassing about mummy or daddy or something like that. But it was always fascinating to see what they would come away with. That's why as a parent you have to really watch what you say and do, because
I could
Kids-
rub out your kids.
Yeah, kids are like sponges for that kind of stuff.
Because they're kind of adapting to their environment. They were in a black hole for ages, and now it's like...
Yeah. Now there's all this kind of learning and stimuli that kind of gets their wee brain cells running and kind of forges the kind of person they become.
That's why I should talk smart in front of my child. So academically, what do you want to do when you're older?
I always like to kind of speak to you. I like speaking to you the way I would speak to
Anyone?
anyone. Yeah, because as far as I was concerned, that if that's the way I talk to people, then I would want you to kind of be the same.
See, I remember when I was younger, you took me to the park. There was 2 other kids there,
Uh-huh.
and it was just us 4 because the parents weren't there.
Yeah.
And I was playing with the kids, and we went on this big roundabout, and it was really big, and I didn't have any like things to hold on to. It was
Oh,
just,
yeah.
And you were spinning us and spinning us and spinning us, and I'm like, stop, because I couldn't have anything to hold on to. And I went flying and hit off a gate.
Yeah, I felt
And
awful
then
about that.
I think I passed out because all I remember is smacking against the fence and then black.
Okay, hopefully I didn't give you a concussion.
I'm still alive, so it's fine.
It's all good, yeah. Once again, another
It was when
anecdote about my parenting skills.
I'm pretty sure it was like when I was 4 or 3.
Yeah.
So I've lived around 7 to 6 years. So
It's all good.
no, not 7, 6. Yeah,
7.
7, 6.
7 if you were 4, it would be 7.
Mm-hmm.
If you were 3, it'd be 8 years ago. But yeah, one of those fun times where kind of
Messed up my brain.
Yeah.
That's how I'm so smart.
I don't know if that's how that works. Usually,
Yes, it is, Dad.
Usually with brain trauma, it's the other way.
Did I have a concussion? I'm pretty sure I had a concussion.
I don't think you did, to be honest with you. I think
That you were going really fast, and the fact it spun me so much that I went flying. The fence was around 5 feet away.
No, it wasn't 5 feet away.
No, it was 5 feet because it was near the gate.
You didn't fly
I did.
5 feet. You didn't.
2 feet.
Maybe 2 feet.
Yeah,
But it wasn't 5
I just
feet.
realised I was thinking of meters and social distances, but I messed it up with
Yeah.
I messed it up with
It was
feet.
the roundabout. The roundabout thing was very close to the gate.
Uh-huh.
And
No,
I
it
think,
was 5 meters away.
honey,
No, I can promise you, I have been to that park again.
look,
Next time I go to that park, I'm gonna go and measure it.
you do that.
Let's
because
go
it's
and go now.
It's not that.
I think
Um,
they had to take it away. Actually, no, they didn't.
No, it's still there. It's still there. Albeit, I think they've got a lot more padding around it.
No,
No.
no, it's the same, Dad.
It's the same. But yeah, I don't know. But what's been going on with you anyway?
And nothing much. I just like talking about how when I was a kid.
Yeah, all your stories seem to involve me doing something really reckless with you.
See, this one time, me and Dad, we like to have a little play fight. It's not an actual fight. It's just little, not actual punches. It's just occasionally I'll get him.
Mhm.
And one time we used to love pillow fights.
I think you've told them this story.
I don't know, but I'm going to tell it again.
That's her getting me into trouble.
So I was on the floor and Dad was on the couch smacking me with a pillow, and I was like, he thought I was laughing. I was crying. He thought I was
Your
laughing.
face was down, your body was shaking. It looked like you were laughing. So I thought, I'll just continue.
I was crying. That'll
What?
give you a lot of trouble, I remember.
Yes. Well, I didn't know. It was as far as I was concerned that you were kind of egging me on. So I thought, okay then. Pillow right to the temple.
It's like my head smacking off the floor.
This really does not paint me anything like this podcast. Look, daddies sometimes don't realise A, their own strength, or B, what's actually going on.
I forgive you.
Why, thank you. It's good to know. We're not in a kind of accidentally abusive relationship.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously with everything that's going on, have you missed your gymnastics classes?
I have missed them. It's so hard to do it at home because you've not got the teacher telling you, come on Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
And
And my
it's just
skills
me.
with anything to do with...
Gymnastics are back bends a bit.
Yeah.
Just the other week you had a hard time sitting on the couch.
Well, that's because I've been
Muscle.
doing lots and lots of workouts now, so
You did a little workout.
I did a big workout.
It was little.
It was
It was tiny.
massive.
Tiny.
Massive workout.
Tiny.
Massive.
Yeah, you did a workout.
Yes, I did a workout. Massive workout.
It was tiny.
And whatever. It was massive. Okay. But I haven't worked out
For
quite like that in a long time. So
years.
yes, thank you, years. And so it was rather tough. I was obviously
He was a potato.
had what's called DOMS for a couple of days.
He's a vegetable.
Felt like a vegetable at that point. But yes,
we were just taking little parts off him and eating them.
no, we weren't.
So, Dad, can I tell you something?
Uh-huh.
See, when I was around 7,
Uh-huh.
6, I used to make hearts and make them with faces. Not actual hearts,
Yeah.
just the shape of a heart. Make faces and just give you guys that saying, I love you.
Oh yeah,
Guys.
those were beautiful yet haunting.
It's like me with the ginger hair. It's like a heart shape and red.
Yeah.
You
With-
guys.
with these kind of, you always seem to draw these really kind of like intense, soulless eyes that just stared into your soul.
And all of them would go in the fridge. There's a bunch of pictures of us.
Just staring at you as you go to get your milk or your yogurt.
And I always had that like line smile. It's like,
Oh, jeez, yeah. Like the Joker.
and they would always say LUV.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Yeah, you developed text language really, really quickly.
I didn't want to spell. I remember I learned how to spell dad. So I was like, oh, it must be the same for mum. So dad and mum and dad, like, is
MUM.
MUM, but I thought it was DMM. I thought it was MUM.
Yeah.
So I said, I love you, dad and mum. I love you, mum and dad.
Yeah. Mental.
I just remember there was this thing. It was like I would go after school, and that's where I made a lot of things.
Yeah.
Art, drawing the things.
Was it after school club or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember just drawing at the table and making these things, and then I'd draw like my stuff, and I'd get these sticky things from Lidl.
Yeah.
And I remember I had the whole thingy of the submarines version. Had the whole pack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What were those called? Squiggles or something?
Squishy. Not they were like, they would stick to things and I'd stick them everywhere.
Yeah.
And I would collect them, and then until it stopped, and then every year it would go on again, and then I think it just turned really weird. It was like the footballs and stuff.
Yeah, Yeah, that was something that the shop Lidl did. And whenever you bought shopping, they would kind of give you these sticky toy things. So it was like a suction cup in the bottom, and they would go in that. You could buy or you could collect the submarine thing that you were saying. You
could get the submarine thing where you can put them in their places, and I got all of them. No need to brag.
Do you know what I was thinking? I was thinking about you're not really somebody that's was a big toy person, actually. The more I think about it, you didn't really have many toys that you actually played with at home, did you?
It's more Minecraft.
Yeah, but even when you were a kid, I think you played with some things, but you were really interested in technology. You always wanted to kind of do stuff on the computer, or you always wanted to do stuff on the laptop. You never really you always put your toys down to kind of play with the tech and stuff like that, which was fun. And
I remember taping my iPad to my wall to watch it.
God, yeah.
I put like a lot of tape on.
That was it. I mean, engineering wise, awesome.
Practicality.
Cleaning up after this with all the kind of sticky tape on the wallpaper.
No, it wasn't wallpaper.
No,
it was my mirror.
Or was it? Oh, your mirror.
It was my big mirror thing that I had. It was a sliding door.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness, yeah.
That mirror was haunting.
Getting sticky tape off your mirrored cupboard was a challenge.
I remember that mirror. It was haunting.
Why was that?
Well, I was a little girl with a double bed.
Yeah.
And I'd just look over and I'd just see, when you see things.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this one time. No, this wasn't when I had the mirror, but it was when I was up the stairs and I had my room and you guys were across when we just had the flat, and you had snuck under my bed before I went to bed. And I was like a single bed or something, so I'd always put
it was a wee kid's bed, yeah.
So I would always put my hand down over it, because and you grabbed my hand, and I was like pulling away, and I thought there was monsters in the floor all after that. And so every night, I was so scared of the floor monsters. In the morning, I'd have to walk and look at the floor to make sure the floor monsters wouldn't come.
This is another story about how I traumatised you, isn't it?
Yes! The carpet monsters.
I thought it would be funny.
But
Didn't realise I was going to traumatise you. It's one of those things.
I thought there was a world in the carpet and I would just take my hands and fall.
Well, I'm sorry. It seemed like fun at the time.
It wasn't fun for me. I just remember that. Because I had to sleep like this.
Yeah.
And it also traumatized me because I had to have the covers over my, up to my neck every night. Because I
Yeah.
couldn't put my hands over, they'll take my hands.
Do you know I used to do the same things to your mum? One time, and this will I'll probably get a lot of flack for this one, but one time, before you were born, I was kind of going to finish my uni degree at night, and I got home from work early, so I did, and my uni class I don't think was on at the time, or I may have been rather naughty and kind of decided to skip it for the night. So I was on my way home. Now I realised that I had the key to the spare key to the car. So a wicked thought entered my head that I could give mummy a fright. So I took the spare key, went into the back seat of the car,
I remember.
and pulled a cover over me and waited because I knew mummy would be back. Would be in the car, next train, so it'd be 15 minutes time. So I sat in that car and I put the cover over me.
So you came back from your work and you saw our car?
And went and hid in the back seat of the car. And I waited. So mum gets in the car. I wait and I listen for the click of the seatbelt. And I had to be really careful because I didn't want her to start driving and do this. So I waited for her to get her seatbelt on, and then I just rose from the back seat and went, "Katie!" And she screamed and proceeded to try and hit me, but because I was sitting behind the car seat, the driver's seat, she couldn't get to me. But she didn't speak to me understandably didn't speak to me for a while after that. I really shouldn't be allowed to kind of go home early.
No, as I
But,
can see. I remember one time I hid under your bed. I grabbed out.
Oh, grab me, yeah. I was quite.
And you went.
Yep, you got me. I was very proud of you.
Or what I would do is I would go under your guys' covers with mum. But she would be out, and I would kind of hug her, so my head was in, and I'd put my body all the way over her.
So it didn't look like you were there.
So when you would go into bed, you were going into bed, and then I grabbed your hand and pulled.
You got me a good one a couple of times. You did. That's where you probably get that from. It's me.
Yeah, and I also remember one time. When I was younger. I was coming out the hall, right next to the office here, and you were hiding behind the door, and you jumped out,
Yeah.
and I went.
Yeah, I made you cry, which once
It's
again,
done that multiple times.
which once again makes me sound like the worst father in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, crazy times. So, what was your COVID results?
My COVID results were, drumroll please. Negative.
Negative. So you didn't have it.
Negative. It was just a little cough.
Just a little cough. Yeah. Mentally, after all that.
And physically, I was dead.
I know you were really kind of.
Eager to go back to school
Yeah,
and
yeah.
learn maths.
Yeah, I think you were kind of starting to crawl the walls. I think going back to school was good, but then obviously having to stay off until you got your results, kind of frustrated you.
Because it came at the last minute when the test came at the last minute, so we couldn't go because I had a set post time.
Yeah.
So we could go, And then it was, then the next day we did it and our test results didn't come back for 3 days.
Yeah, not two. But do you know what was really? I wasn't present when you got your COVID test. What did they kind of do? What was it Mum did with
So she had to get this long stick. It was like this this swab thing, but it was like a big one. So she had to put. I had to go and she had to kind of go at the back of my throat.
Yeah.
And like hold it for 10 seconds. I was like gagging.
Oh,
I was
that
like,
sounds horrible.
and then she had to put it up my nose. Put it right up my nose, but I kept needing to sneeze during it because like tickly.
That sounds quite tough for a kid to have to deal with. You know
Well,
what I mean?
it's what
That's
we have
not.
to do.
Yeah, it's what we have to do. But for let's just say if there was other kids that kind of didn't, weren't comfortable, that would be.
That'd be hell for the parents.
Yeah, trying to kind of get that done.
They'd have to hold the kid back, like strap them on the chair.
Okay, that's a bit extreme, but yeah, I get where you're going with that. But yeah, that's I couldn't.
You were asleep.
I'm glad I don't have I have not had any kind of reason to kind of have a COVID test because that doesn't.
You might have to in the future.
I might have to, and I'll grin and bear it. Well, not grin, but I'll get it.
You'll be like.
I'll get it done because it's necessary. But it doesn't sound like the most fun thing in the world to do. Not that I'm expecting it to be all song and dance.
But I was doing this when I was having to get my nose, but I was like.
Yeah.
Because I had to sneeze.
Oh yeah, it must be like that kind of burning sensation in your nose when you're about to sneeze.
It was tickly.
Tickly.
And I had to go. And then it was 10 seconds over, and my mum took it out, and I went achoo, achoo.
Yeah.
And like in my throat, I was gagging like.
Yeah. Must have. Yeah, I'm glad. As I said, I'm glad I don't have to do it. But obviously, if I have to, then I will. But yeah, I've been very lucky that I've not had any kind of symptoms to kind of give me cause for concern, which is good.
So, Daddy.
Uh-huh.
I remember one time you were cooking food for me and Mum.
Oh no. Uh-huh.
And it was mussels.
Uh-huh.
If everyone knows mussels, seafood,
Yes.
He didn't defrost it.
Yeah.
He just put it in the boiler. He boiled it for ages. Then put it in the pot, and the next day we weren't severely sick, but we were sick.
Yeah, okay. Just to give everybody a kind of idea, there's many things I'm good at. There's many things I'm not good at. Cooking is one of the things I'm not good at.
I got my good food cooking from my mum. I inherited it from my mum.
Thank goodness, because it would be like mass poisoning. Yeah, I don't. The thing about cooking is it's the kind of certain things. It seems to involve a lot of timings and things like that. And I can handle loads of stuff to do with IT that are complex instructions and how that, but I can't seem to
Defrost stuff.
Well, never mind. So something like cooking, I can't get my head around. I don't know why.
For me, it's just I've inherited from Mum.
Yeah, you've probably kind of been able to kind of adopt a kind of cooking style of Mum. Whereas for me, it's obviously I'm kind of going in blind, not blind.
Oh my gosh, I remember this time. Mum had put sticky notes on the doors to make you start the cooking, and you just walked through them and you didn't see. Mum was like, "Oh, we think because he'll put the casserole on or something."
And I didn't
for
see
me.
Them. I get well. I think at that point I was coming in and I was very.
No excuses, Dad.
Well, I didn't see
There was
it.
no excuses.
I didn't see it. I don't know. But yeah, this has been quite the kind of bashing session of my kind of parent skills and abilities in the kitchen. I'm feeling rather self-conscious.
Don't, Dad. This is the way of life,
It's the way of life. You're
we all
hopeless.
make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Like traumatizing their kid for like 5 years. You have to think the butterfly effect. Every little thing can,
Every
Uh-huh.
every action has a chain reaction of events. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I taught you something. But yeah. So I think
That's us done.
I think we'll kind of get going. Lots to do today.
I have to go and get my hair cut.
I have to fix my office desk.
We also, I think, dinner, is it?
I think we're going out later on for dinner, so that should be fun.
Cool.
Alright.
I guess we'll see you guys later.
Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed our podcast, please tune in at the same time next week.